Welcome to Surviving the Phuckery, where we're just trying to survive all the fuckery that's going on in the world today. Now, before we jump into this video, y'all know what I have to do. I have to give a big shout out to those of you who have donated to the channel because you appreciate the time, effort, and creativity it takes to create these videos. Danny, Danielle Wells, Dana Clark, Olazine Shannon, Pretty Brown Eyes, Mary Martinez, M. DeBaddis, Benjamin Anderson, TN, Ramona Paravola, Eric Jordan, Chanel Daniels, James Walton, Tracy L. Hennessy, James, Tyrone Rowe, Zen Alley Cat, Chaos from Kokomo, T-Dub, Tarbarian, Shannon, and Prince. Thanks to all of you. Your generosity means everything to me, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. Now, in case you've been living under a rock somewhere, Lying Joe Biden is at it again. Lying Joe stated numerous times that he would not pardon his crackhead son, only to turn around and give him a full unconditional pardon. Now, that being said, enjoy.
It really makes you question, what is it that has been happening in the Democratic camp that Hunter Biden needed an 11-year pardon that takes him back to 2014, halfway through the second Obama term when Biden was VP. What is it that was happening that he knows about that was happening in that White House that was nefarious, that he needs protection from all the way back to 2014? I also think it's hilarious, but like not a ha-ha hilarious, like a ironic hilarious, that the whole thing the Dems have been saying is that Trump only cares about Trump, and Trump's protecting Trump and his people, and he's using a position of power to do so. And that's exactly what Biden has done by pardoning his son. Isn't that funny?
So let's just be clear before you start scrolling, right? Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is absolutely a crackhead. He is a trick. He is a criminal.
Does include actions I've long called for that are going to save lives. It funds crisis intervention, including red flag laws. It keeps guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and to others.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, $1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the streets.
Hunter Biden is facing serious legal problems. He's just been indicted on 3 felony charges. These charges allege that he lied about being on drugs while purchasing a firearm. While they're trying to prove to us that no one is above the law,
No one is above the law.
don't get too excited. There's a 2-tier justice system in America, and he'll probably get a slap on the wrist. Can Joe pardon his son?
This nation was founded on the principle that there are no kings in America. Each of us is equal before the law.
President Joe Biden hugged his son Hunter Biden after the president landed at the Delaware Air National Guard Base on Tuesday. The embrace came hours after a jury found Hunter Biden guilty of all 3 federal felony gun charges he faced.
The judge has 120 days to sentence Hunter Biden after he was found guilty on 3 federal gun charges, so we can expect to know his fate by October the latest. He's facing up to 25 years, but it's likely he won't get any jail time since he's a first-time offender. The jury unanimously agreed to find Hunter guilty after hearing testimony from his ex-wife, daughter, and ex-girlfriend, and being shown texts from Hunter to his drug dealer just one day before lying about his drug addiction on a federal form to purchase a gun in 2018. The ruling marks the first time a current president's child has been found guilty of a felony, and Hunter will have to face the music after his dad, Joe Biden, said he accepts the outcome and will not pardon his son.
Look here, I want to tell y'all something. I've been thinking about this whole Hunter Biden thing, all right? First of all, I don't think he needs to be president anymore.
What?
No one is above the law.
A few moments later.
President Biden is expected to issue a pardon for his son, Hunter.
Shocking.
Yes, Biden said on multiple occasions that he would not pardon his son, or he whispered it, or commute his sentence.
As we sit here in Normandy, your son Hunter is on trial, and I know that you cannot speak about an ongoing federal prosecution. But let me ask you, will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I'd abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
President Biden has ruled out any type of commutation or reduced sentence for his son, Hunter Biden?
Yes, he has.
You've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It will always be a no.
It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no, and I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
You've said from the podium that President Biden would not pardon his son. If Vice President Harris is elected, would he tell her also to not pardon?
I mean, that's a hypothetical that look, the president, I can speak for the president, and he said he would not pardon his son. And I'm just going to leave it there.
Secondly, his son, Hunter, is also up for being sentenced next month. Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
President Biden has just pardoned his son, Hunter, sparing him from a possible prison sentence for federal felony gun and tax convictions.
Oh, I've been waiting for this. Oh, boy, I've been waiting for this. What's up?
Peter Ducey here, at the bottom of a rabbit hole. Wait, no. A rabbit hole is where the press secretary told me just a few weeks ago that questions about pardoning Hunter Biden would lead us.
President Biden says that he's not going to pardon his son, Hunter. Is he going to ask Donald Trump to do that?
I don't have anything else to share about that. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on this.
And now we know that was not true. We have been asking questions about a possible pardon for Hunter Biden for years because it just seemed like something that was possible no matter what they were saying.
U.S. President Joe Biden has delivered a bombshell announcement doing something he vowed he would never do. He has issued a full and unconditional pardon for his son, Hunter. A senior administration official says President Biden reached the decision just this weekend as he and his family were wrapping up their Thanksgiving holiday together in Massachusetts. The White House had still denied a pardon was a possibility as recently as last month. The president issued a statement explaining his reasoning, saying in part, quote, "No reasonable person who looks at the facts of Hunter's cases can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out only because he is my son, and that is wrong."
Joe.
It is not the tax and gun charges that Hunter Biden is being pardoned for. That's just a smokescreen. That's just something to run to the press with, because Joe Biden, pay close attention here, rather curiously pardoned Hunter for all of the offenses that he, quote, has committed or may have committed or taken part in between January 1st, 2014 and December 1st, 2024. Whoa, 2014? 2014? Wait a minute. Now, if that tax crime took place in 2016 and that gun crime took place in 2018, why is Daddy Biden pardoning Hunter dating back years earlier, specifically January 1st, 2014. What happened then? What were we doing then? Oh, I know. We were overthrowing a duly elected president in Ukraine. That's what I know. Ukraine. Back in 2014, Joe Biden was vice president. It was Obama's White House, and we staged a coup in Ukraine. We just overthrew a president, turned Ukraine into a laundromat for the West. We were just money laundering. They're making money. We funded, like this is always our move, we fund rebels to overthrow presidents. We're doing it right now in Syria. We arm them, we fund them. And this time in 2014, in February 2014 to be specific, we overthrew President Viktor Yanukovych, and we installed a Western puppet president. And that is, by the way, part of the reason and the circumstance that has led to the situation in Russia today.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Biden gave his son an extraordinarily sweeping pardon for any and all crimes he committed, may have committed, or even merely been involved in at any point in the last 10 years. Trying to explain his decision to Americans, President Biden made a personal appeal. He said this, quote, "I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision," he said last night. Understand? Americans might, though they'll have to be forgiven for thinking that all of this was off the table.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Hunter Biden was convicted on 3 federal felony gun charges in June in a trial that exposed details of his drug abuse. He faced up to 25 years in prison for those crimes. He also pleaded guilty to 9 charges in a federal tax case in September. He was due for sentencing in both cases later this month. He is the first immediate family member of a sitting U.S. president to be found guilty of a crime. Hunter Biden released his own statement on the pardon, saying in part, "I have admitted and taken responsibility for my mistakes during the darkest days of my addiction. I will never take the clemency I have been given today for granted and will devote the life I have rebuilt to helping those who are still sick and suffering."
I'm living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. Hallelujah. I feel him down in my spirit. You know, as I think about the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done.
To everyone's total surprise, there's drama in the White House. Again, President Joe Biden issued a sweeping decade-long pardon for his son, Hunter Biden, covering potential crimes that haven't even been charged. But what does this possibly mean, you ask? Well, we simply have to rewind. What is a presidential pardon? It's a unique tool designed to balance justice with mercy. Rooted in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution, the Founding Fathers gave the president this authority to correct judicial errors and to heal national divides. Famous examples include Gerald Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon to help the nation move on from Watergate, and Jimmy Carter's amnesty for Vietnam War draft dodgers. But historically, there's been this unspoken norm: you can't just use it for political or personal gain. Until now. So experts are calling the pardon of Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, unprecedented and interesting. Some are saying this isn't really about Hunter Biden, it's actually about Joe protecting himself. If you think about it, the Trump Department of Justice could investigate Hunter for bribery, tax crimes, and improprieties tied to Biden family corruption. By pardoning Hunter, Biden effectively took himself off the table. The Democrats are understandably upset because this kind of exposes a pattern that's been going on. They break the norm, they rewrite the rule, and then they get upset when the pendulum swings back. AKA, now that the floodgates are open, they're worried about what Trump will do. This has set a dangerous precedent.
Yes! I like it.
Stop everything. This is the most controversial move in modern politics. Yesterday, President Biden pardoned his own son, Hunter, a decision sending shockwaves throughout the nation. Now, is this justice or favoritism? Remember, President Biden previously said that he would not pardon his son, but some say Hunter was targeted unfairly, a pawn in a political chess game. Others argue this pardon undermines trust in our entire justice system, creating one set of rules for the powerful and another one for everyone else. But here's the kicker. Has this pardon set a dangerous precedent? Think about it. What happens when future presidents face similar family crises? Are we witnessing the creation of a justice system where blood ties trump the rule of law? And here's a thought that few dare to mention. Could this divide the Democratic Party from within? How does this move impact their credibility to call out corruption or favoritism on the other side? Now, whether you love it or hate it, this decision forces us to ask hard questions about loyalty, leadership, and justice.
If Biden actually believed that his son was politicized by the Justice Department's prosecution, then why has he not fired one employee of the Justice Department? Because if he believes that there's corruption, if he believes that they're unfairly targeting individuals, he has the authority.
Hunter's liberal privilege kept him out of trouble his whole life, and he never learned from his mistakes because Daddy was always there to save him. And while Daddy was saving his son, who was buying crack, millions of poor Americans, many without daddies, never got saved. They got put in prison for decades because Joe Biden was tough on crime. Those Americans had a lot less crack than Hunter was holding. That's what's making Democrats sick to their stomach tonight. Biden was never this rule of law guy. Look around. If he didn't like a law, he'd break it. He's been smacked down by the courts more than anyone. His family doesn't pay taxes, but you do. And he takes your tax money and spends it on migrants and then calls you a bigot for saying that's not fair. See what he's doing here? He's claiming the moral high ground when he's really trying to import voters. Biden says the laptop was fake and then pardoned his son for everything we found on it. Everyone's waking up to the fact that this whole presidency was a lie.
Joe Biden said he'd never do. Pardon his son, it's true, it's true. But then he didn't, now we see hypocrisy, hypocrisy.
First of all, seeing certain people argue about Hunter Biden's pardon really shows me that, hey, man, this has never been about right or wrong when it comes to the law in this country. It's always been about power and influence, meaning who has the power and influence to do what they want to do, whether it's right or wrong. And what we see is that whether we lean in left with liberals or we lean in right with conservatives, hey, man, the law always has its white way of viewing and, like, you know what I'm saying, bring out the due process. Because think about it, man. I got many uncles. They got many cousins, you feel me? They sons that's locked up. If they had the power and influence to just pardon them, they would have did that. You see what I'm saying? The Democratic Party, too, listen, I want to first say this. I'm a father. I got a son and a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I would have kept it A1 on day one and said, hey, listen, man, when you ask me would I respect the due process of the law and the outcome of the law if my kids are convicted, would I use my power and influence to pardon them? I'm going to do it. You should have been real. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, it's off the table. You know what I'm saying? When you're trying to play politics and you're trying to get reelected, and then as soon as you see you not being reelected, it's what you do.
All of the criticism is valid because, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, whether or not, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him. That's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, nobody's above the law, I respect, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that.
Our current president of the United States has so much respect for the law that he has said he would not pardon his son. It's all about the contrast.
President Biden saying, I will respect whatever this jury decides, versus
right.
Donald Trump after he was convicted on 34 counts, saying the entire system is rigged against him.
Their latest attack has been that Joe Biden has politicized and weaponized the DOJ, right? That was the whole argument around Donald Trump's conviction. And this week, of course, Hunter Biden was found guilty. And Joe Biden has very clearly said he would not pardon his son. He would not commute his sentence. How stark is this difference? I mean, how can Republicans keep making this argument now that Joe Biden has really put it out there? Where's Hunter? And he stood there in a courtroom, flanked by his family, and he's accepted his sentence.
He is not pardoning his son.
which he could do. These are federal charges.
Right.
He is not doing that. He is not doing it because he is living what it means to have a rule of law in this country.
Yeah.
And it isn't, I mean, if you want to know if he believes it, you could actually see what is happening with his own son.
What?
Hey, y'all, I am convinced that Joe Biden has lost his mind. Apparently, he didn't remember telling the world over and over again that he was not going to pardon his son, Hunter Biden. And then he turned around and a few days ago did just that. He pardoned him. But I don't blame him. We all getting older. We all suffering from some type of memory loss.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
It's not easy being the president's son, Dad.
Oh, honey, I know it's got to be hard being Donald Trump Jr., but look at him. I mean, come on, man. He's doing pretty good.
I'm talking about me, Dad.
Wait, are you telling me that Donald Trump is your father? Joe, why don't you sit the next couple of plays out?
I think I just pooped. I have so much pressure, bro. You don't even know what it's like.
Crack, rock, the Hunter to the Biden. I smoke lots of crack and I won't stop smoking because my laptop is leaking. But up jumps my daddy, he's a pedo of America's seed. Now the videos you see are all fake news and crack pipes won't burn your teeth. Cause Google, the news, and Pedo Peter are gonna make sure you all don't see that my name's Hunter, man, and I really do like blow. The Ukraine, my gun, the Burisma, man, my paintings and my hose. But first, I gotta light the crack into the pipe. I laundered lots of money with the big guy beside me. Is that rock? I won't stop. I break the law, repeat, and then I walk.
The pardon comes ahead of Hunter's December 12th sentencing for his conviction on federal gun charges. Hunter is also set to be sentenced on tax evasion charges December 16th. None of that's going to happen.
Disconnect his cameras and steal his money.
My child called me up just the other day. He said, Dad, I need some crack. Can you help me today? And I had lots of cash, but bills to pay. He said, don't worry, Dad, I'll find another way. He was smoking before I knew it, and away he flew, saying, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And Hunter's in the basement with a silver spoon. The hookers and drugs were gonna be there soon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when.
I'll be good and high by then, Dad. Yeah, I'll be good and high by then.
Picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine.
I'm very proud of my son. My son came around just the other day. He said, I got me a deal where we can both get paid. Can I trade on your name? I said, sure, okay. Will anyone know? He said, no way. And as he walked away, he looked kind of dim and said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah. You know I'm gonna be like him.
He's fixed it. He's worked on it.
And Hunter's in the basement with a silver spoon. Ukrainian brides were gonna be there soon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when.
I'll put aside your 10%, Dad. I'll always have your 10%.
So, honey, what are you doing? I said, Dad, I'm fine. He said, you're not fine. I know how to game the system. Come on. Come on, folks.
Well, he came from Kiev just the other day. Had a smile so big I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. How's our cash supply? He nodded his head and said,
great big guy, but what I really need, Dad, is to borrow the car keys.
You can take the vet, but watch the boxes, please. And Hunter's in the basement with a silver spoon. Classified papers all over the room. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when.
I'm getting good and high again, Dad. I'm getting good and high again.
He pointed out the reason why he regrets it is he didn't anticipate that thugs like Giuliani would use it to, in fact, try to embarrass his father. Yes, they are. They're flat thugs. Come on. This guy is a dog whistle about as big as a foghorn.
I stole an election and my son moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, you owe some cash, I want my cut today. He said,
calm down, Dad, you know it's on the way. But my laptop is gone and now it's on you. And now we're both really screwed, Dad. And now we're both gonna be screwed.
And as I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, he was damn near dumber than me. My boy was dumb as me. And there was Hunter in the basement with a silver spoon. All of our crimes were coming out real soon. When's it all end, son? I don't know when.
But we're gonna end up in the pen, Dad. We're both gonna be in the pen.
I'm absolutely certain, 100% certain, that at the end of the investigation, that I will be cleared of any wrongdoing. God save the Queen, man.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video entertaining and you received any kind of enjoyment from watching it, please subscribe, share it with others, hit that notification bell, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment. It truly makes a difference. YouTube's algorithms thrive on engagement, and your support ensures these videos reach a wider audience. It's worth mentioning that YouTube doesn't directly compensate creators like me for content. So if you'd like to support the channel, consider making a donation through the Cash App provided above. Your donations will go towards me having the time to create more videos for your enjoyment. Now, with all that being said, peace, and thank you for being a part of the Surviving the Phuckery community.